Hey guys, today I am in Patmos, one of the 3,000 Greek islands, and we are going to talk about the challenges to power an island and in general remote communities, and we're going to try to provide some practical solutions. So powering an island is pretty challenging because you have to replicate the whole infrastructure at the scale of the island, and that includes the startup cost, which could be pretty high. We saw in a previous episode that Iceland is now 100% running out of renewables. So please look at that video. In the case of Greek islands, it's more complicated because they are much smaller. So, and they have very scattered load, as you can see in the background here. The other complication is that you have 5 times or 10 times more people in the summer relative to the winter, and so the demand is highly variable. So let's see how the Greek islands are getting their electricity. The most common energy source deployed in the islands over the decades has been diesel or oil-fueled power plants. They are relatively inexpensive, take little space, and can quickly meet the higher demand with literally the push of a button. So you have here behind me a 5 megawatt power plant supplying the needs of the island of Patmos. Now obviously this kind of plant comes with a lot of negatives. The first important one is the environmental impact. You have emissions of cancerous particles. On the top of that, you have the cost factor. On the continent, energy costs somewhere between 8 to 15 cents a kilowatt hour. On an island like this, the cost is 30 cents, 40 cents a kilowatt hour, sometimes much more than that. Now in 2018, we are still not seeing a massive deployment of renewables in the Greek islands. Yet, Greece has some of the best solar radiation, great wind resources, even geothermal with its volcanic arc. Instead, we are seeing billions of euros of funding released by the European Union and some other investors to deploy a gigantic 2,000 megawatt undersea transmission line going all the way from Greece motherland to the largest islands and to Cyprus and Israel. So it seems pretty ludicrous to deploy 20th century technology to power up these islands. Unlike Iceland, fully transitioning Greek islands to renewables is not that simple for a number of reasons. First, you have some local political dynamics. For instance, a few years ago in the island of Milos, the inhabitants opposed the construction of a geothermal plant. Another interesting reason is that the moment you start scratching the soil in Greece, you need to get approval from the archaeological services. From a technical point of view, the grid has not been designed to absorb intermittent production from renewables. So, and in the meantime, the demand goes up very quickly because everyone wants to visit the Greek islands. So now you can see why the European Union and the government of Greece have been supportive of this very large undersea transmission line. This hotel here in the background is getting a portion of its energy from panels over the roof. But it remains an exception, and most buildings in the island are just getting power from the grid. Guys, check this out. This boat here is bringing fresh water to the island, and this is the access point to the reservoir. This is how Greek islands are getting their fresh water. It's a very energy intensive exercise. Might be a good idea to think about solar powered desalination plants because obviously the inhabitants here in this island are paying a hefty cost for their fresh water. I am now in this local gas station where gas is 195 euros per liter, which is about $9 per gallon. If you don't want to pay $9 per gallon for gas, you can switch to an electric car and charge it with your home solar system, which you could pay back with savings probably within 5 years. And then you can charge your car for free for the next 20 years and drive for free. By the way, electric cars require much less maintenance than gas-fueled cars, and so altogether we're talking about thousands of dollars of savings every year for transportation costs. Okay, so what is the bottom line here? Well, we are at crossroads because the technology has matured and the economics work. Microgrids are the way to go. What is a microgrid? Well, it would be, for instance, this small solar farm here behind me coupled with battery storage. You can power up a little section of this island with this microgrid independently from the rest. We have seen our friends at Tesla deploying a microgrid powering an entire island in South Pacific. And again, the economics work. You can even do it for a small home with few panels and a little battery backup. In the long run, this is the only way the Greek government can support economic expansion in all the islands, small or big, without breaking the buck. If you like this video, please remember to like and share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and leave us comments so we can do other videos like this one. Thank you for watching.